So I'm Vicki and I'm joined with Sheela again. And we just wanted to have another little chat around an area that we'll be exploring in our Invisibles to Gut Health course that we are running from the middle of November. And it's something that I was totally invisible to me and has been really helpful to see stuff around. And that is around symptoms. So, obviously we all experience, and whether it's gut health, whether it's any health issues, we all experience symptoms at times. Our bodies will what's the word? See, in my old language, I would have said they play us up, or they give us they give us things that are a nuisance that we don't want. My language around symptoms was very negative, I guess. Like, this darn body, it's doing these things to me and I really don't like it. And that's how I saw symptoms, was like, they're actually just a nuisance. I get a headache and it's like, oh my gosh, I haven't got time for a headache. Reach for the painkillers, and the painkillers are getting stronger painkillers to do anything. Just get rid of it. I can't bear this symptom, this feeling, or whatever. And I can't remember who it was that I was listening to, and they started to talk about symptoms as love letters from the body, as something positive. And I was really kind of taken aback, I guess, by that. Just how that's what kind of stopped me in my tracks. That symptoms could be seen as something positive. And this is certainly an area that we'll be kind of delving into more, I guess, in the course. But this idea that our body is always in communication with us, that and this was a mind-blowing thing, that we feel our thinking, that our body is the perfect barometer to our mind. So we all kind of have an understanding that our mind and our body are one, that they're connected. But I've really seen that now, where I can see the impact that my thinking has. I had incredibly busy thinking all my life, just worried thinking. And it's a kind of no surprise to me that I have gut issues, because we know that we feel, it's very familiar to us that we feel things in our tummy, when we get butterflies in our tummy when we're going to do something, or we get a knot in our tummy if we're going to be doing something we don't want to do, or we're familiar with that. But I don't think we truly see that what we think is what we feel. And I've really explored this over the last few years, and really seen that to be true. And so if we kind of extrapolate that, it makes sense to me that the symptoms that we have is just my body giving me an indication that I really got very busy thinking, or stressful thinking, or whatever going on. That's it. That's it. So it is like a love letter. It's like my body is beautifully attuned and giving me a little tap on the shoulder to say, hang on a minute, you're getting really busy in your mind, you're getting worried about something, or you're stressed, or whatever. It's just busy. And when we ignore that little tap on the shoulder, it becomes like a bang on the head, and then we ignore that, and it becomes something more. And it's now I see it as like an incredible gift when we actually stop and consider that our body is just talking to us. And when we keep trying to push it away and ignore it and take tablets to make the symptoms go away, it has to kind of give us a stronger symptom, almost. It has to give us something stronger to stop us in our tracks. I don't know. That's
beautiful. And funnily enough, the first time I heard love letters, was Dr. Bill Pettit at Beaver. He told us that, he said he just had the insight. He used to call them something else, and he realised that they were love letters. And so I was, very privileged to be there that day. It was a couple of years ago, 2019, when he pointed to that, because we asked him to do a talk on the mind-body connection.
Oh.
And that's when he was talking about it. So that might be where you've heard it.
Yes.
I think a lot of people have picked it up now, and they're using the same term, but it's just people have picked it up and taken it because it's so true. It's like you can feel the truth of that when you were speaking, like how much you've seen that symptoms are our friends. And me too, when you were speaking about the nuisance, and I would say a pain, literally, what a pain and inconvenience. And when things are really painful, when I can be in a flare situation with the Crohn's, it's scary too. It's not just it's a nuisance, it's painful, it's scary, it's frustrating, it's that they're all the words that I can think of at the moment. And I forget, quite honestly, I can forget very easily that they are love letters for me. And then some point down the line, it might be a day, it might be an hour, it might be 2 minutes, who knows? I'll remember that, something for me to see. Something for me to see that I'm not seeing clearly at the moment. There's something here for me. And there's like you said, it can start off very gently pointing, and then it could be really harsh pointing, like, hey, wake up. That's what Bill used to call them, alarms, I think. And wake up, there's something here for you to see. And I can't always see it clearly. If I'm honest, I can't find, it's invisible, and then sometimes it just comes out the blue. It's like, of course, it's that, people call that flathead sort of insight, duh. Of course, it just seems so obvious in the moment. It's like, wow, yeah, of course, that's what that's saying to me. And of course, the tricky bit about it for me has been when I'm in pain, when I'm scared of symptoms, I go running faster in the opposite direction of trying to find answers and worrying about it and get myself in a tizzy about it. And that's kind of that's why it's like a love letter to wake you up. It's like, actually, no, stop. Get as quiet as you can, just relax, go into, as best you can, get into a quiet space. And just that in itself is healing. Just that in itself, I noticed immediately how there's less fear, obviously, and there's less agitation in the system. Like, oh, okay, this everything's fine. Everything's going to be fine.
And I just want to jump in there about that. Everything's going to be fine, because that kind of sounds just almost dismissive. Oh yeah, I'm going to be fine. Let's ignore this. But we're not saying that at all. What we're saying is that when we get quiet and we listen and we acknowledge the body for what it's trying to, as a kindness that it's trying to tell us something. We might not know what it's trying to tell us, but in that allowing, in that acceptance, there is a quietening. And in that space of quietening, there is the possibility to find a solution. There comes in the possibility to know the next thing to do. And it doesn't come when we get caught in our mind, worrying about what we should do or how we should do it or whether we should do this or that. It comes from the stepping out and acknowledging the pain, acknowledging the symptoms, I think.
Yeah. And listening to that voice, that I just was reminded of one not quite recent time that I had one of my panic symptoms, like it was a new symptom I'd never had before, and that scared me because I'd never had experienced this. And I was so grateful that my first thought was to find my daughter, who is a nutritionist, who is, very clinical nutritionist and treats people for gut issues. And I'm so grateful that she answered the phone. It's very early in the morning, and she just talked me down, basically. Like, I need to go to the doctor. I need to go to the doctor. And she's like, Mom, just give it a day. Just wait. and see. I know people that this has happened to. It'll, you'll see. Just wait and see, basically. And it was just enough to talk to her for me to calm down. So it can be not just that I see it myself and I calm down, but even the idea, phone somebody, talk to somebody, go to the doctors if you need to. But it's always available to us. It's not just, it's always available to us. These symptoms are our love letters. And that was another one for me, and it did all turn out fine. I didn't need to rush to the doctor. But so given that we want to keep these brief,
yes, we better end it.
We'll stop it there. And details below of our Invisibles to Gut Health course that begins middle of November. We'd love to have you with us. So hope to see you soon.
Lovely. Bye.